Flash issue 56 brings the fire as Detective Burns and Flash try and escape the huge blue flames Mick Rory, who has pulled them into his dream world where he is God. Flash wants to know what Mick did, but the blue flame woman on his shoulder tells him to ignore Flash, and if Mick truly loves her, he will burn it all. Heatwave blows up the prison, escaping off the island and towards Central City. Burns wants Flash to go after him, but Flash knows something is wrong, since Mick is obsessed with fire, not killing. Flash says that they are still in Iron Heights, but not the real Iron Heights since they are in Heatwave's mind. In the real world, Wolf's men continue to fight the giant fire demons who are protecting Heatwave. Commander Cold arrives and begins to freeze the demons, much to Wolf's displeasure that he has returned to the prison. In the confusion, Cold takes Mick, Flash and Burns' bodies and escapes. In Mick's mind, Flash figures out that the power affecting Mick is one of the forces he's been hunting, specifically the Sage Force. Coming up with a plan, Flash and Burns head into Central City, where he says he believes to escape the dream world they will need to find a lightning rod of sorts, like he uses to escape the Speed Force. Burns agrees with Flash's theory, and the hero is impressed with her ability to stay calm, which gets the detective to open up to Flash a little bit and reveal that she's seen worse, thanks to her criminal parents being killed in a drug lab explosion. Flash says that both of them must have been pulled into this mine for a reason, and it can't be a coincidence that her parents died in a fire, just like heat waves. Flash theorizes the Sage Force allowed Mick to read her mind and saw that he had a similar history to the detective, but Barry doesn't know how the Sage Force works though. He tells Burns that he was told to leave Central City to discover more about them, but he didn't, which angers Burns, who tells him that he should have followed the lead and he would have made a really bad detective if he was one. Flash admits that she is right, and Burns tells him how when you take a case, you need to disconnect from everything to survive, but Flash inspired her to care and be a better cop and show compassion. Suddenly, a power overcomes Burns, and Flash knows her empathy is tapping into Heatwave's mind. Something tries to attack them and stop them from finding where Mick's mind is, and while Flash holds off the power, he tells Burns to continue to try and connect to Mick's mind. Iris meanwhile meets with Commander Cold, shocked to learn that he has taken Flash, Burns and Mick's bodies from Iron Heights and set them up in Barry's old apartment to make sure they are safe. Cold, however, doesn't think he can snap them out of Mick's mind. Inside his mind, Burns and Flash escape the Force after them, and Burns manages to connect to Mick, who has laid out a path for them to follow. Barry soon realizes where they are going, Mick's childhood home, which must be Mick's own version of a lightning rod. The giant blue flame Heatwave arrives, and Barry realizes that the house isn't burnt up because Mick didn't know where it was in his mind and relied on Barry to find it for him. Mick tells him the story of his family and how while Barry and Burns are scum to him, they never gave up on him and he could go back to his life before the fire. But as Mick shows, he was always obsessed with fire. Turning back into the blue flame Heatwave, Mick burns the house, but not before Barry runs in and saves the younger version of Mick, saying that if Heatwave kills this version of Mick, he will lose his mind and be gone for good. Iris meanwhile looks over the unconscious Flash and Burns, finding that something is happening to them on the inside. Cold finds that Mick and Barry's connection is increasing and there is some type of violent synapse fusion happening in Mick's mind. Mick's body begins to surge with the Sage Force power, but before Cold can tell Iris what's happening, another surge happens, engulfing the entire city in the blue flame. The Flash issue 56 was another really awesome issue from Joshua Williamson as Flash continues to discover more about these forces that have been unleashed on the world. I really like how they're tying these forces to Flash's rogues and giving them some new motivations that just aren't stop and kill Flash. And it's really cool that Flash is still playing the hero and trying to save the villain from themselves. I think that's really cool, especially with a villain like Heatwave, who has a really interesting past, and I like when they delve into it a little bit more. I'm very excited to see more of the Sage Force and Barry's upcoming Force Quest and what that means for all of these forces now being awakened across the universe. I'm going to give this issue a 9 out of 10. Hey everyone, thanks for watching my newest video. If you enjoyed it, you might also like to check out my other reviews here on my channel. You can also follow me on various social media platforms like Twitter by searching Matt_FOS, or even join the Comic Multiverse Discord server and chat with other comic book fans, including myself and Joel from Cape Joel. Want cheap comics and trades? Head over to the Book Depository with the link in the description to get the cheapest trades and comics around, along with free shipping anywhere in the world. Until next time, this has been Matt of the Fortress of Solitude. Thank you so much for watching.